If you missed WoW's news drop yesterday about the anniversary event, like I said, you're probably not a WoW player because this thing was massive. And to say that is an understatement. This is not going to be a WoW event. Like I said, this is going to be a patch. This is an entire 8-week cycle of stuff to do. We're going to talk about it and maybe some of the things you may have missed in the announcement because there are some little nuances here and there. Some buffs to some classes, even nerfs to others, and some pets that you may have not gotten because you missed out on them. Now's your chance to get them. So here it is. We're going to be getting a fully revamped version of the Blackrock Depths to start. The raid, 10 to 15 player raid, 8 bosses, 5 mini bosses. This is going to be LFR, normal, and heroic difficulties of this thing. They talked about it in a way that basically showed us you're going to be doing these bosses with all new mechanics, new animations. This isn't just like, oh, we revamped the Ragnaros boss. No. This is like fully revamped raid. We're going in here, you're going to have some nostalgia seeing the old hallways and things like that, but you're also going to be reliving it in a completely new way. This is going to be really fun to do, and like I said, this is not just a 1 week, it's 8 weeks. 8 weeks of this thing being open, being able to gear out, get the transmog, get everything from it. It's going to be really, really fun. On top of that, we're going to get a new world event revisiting the opening of the Gates of Anchorage. That's right, the thing that broke WoW servers a long time ago, the greatest event in WoW history, as I like to call it, is coming back. Now, it's not going to be an open world event, which kind of made me sad when they talked about it. It is going to be an instanced event that you're going to queue for, and they probably did that because they didn't want their servers dying like it did when the original event came out. But you're going to have the opening of Anchorage event, and there's going to be some added details to it. The Scourge is going to show up, the Legion, the Karaji, Silithus, Tichondrius, of course, Osirian, and we got to kill Kel'Thuzad for the 363rd time. So all these guys are going to be showing up. This sounds like a cool event. It's going to be through some chromey time-walking magic, and we'll be doing that. On top of that, time-walking classic dungeons. Yes, we've been talking about getting time-walking, more time-walking raids and things like that. I think they actually one-upped it. Time-walking classic dungeons, Deadmines, Zul'Farrak, Dire Maul, 2 wings of that, Strathome, one of my favorites, 2 wings of that. Obviously, with time walking, you're going to get upped item levels from these things, so that's going to be pretty cool. Being able to do Strathome and maybe bump up your item level at the same time, that should be really, really fun. Moving on from there, we're also going to be getting some interesting time walking vendor refreshes and tons of items. So let's talk about some of that stuff. Outside of the Caverns of Time, there is going to be a big celebration event going on, and you're going to be able to get a lot of stuff from this event and do a lot of fun things. So let's get into this stuff. So yes, as I said before, there's going to be all kinds of tents and stuff set up outside of the Caverns of Time. They were showing off some of the cool things that we'll be able to do, and some of those things will be the Fashion Frenzy. So this is another trial of style event you'll be able to participate in with different categories of dress up related to WoW's history and things like that. There will be Lore Walker Cho there telling stories of WoW's past, 20 years of WoW's past. You'll be able to sit in the theater and watch it, probably get an achievement for seeing some of the different things he's going to be talking about. Mount Mania, this thing's crazy. This is a mount off, full on Asmongold-esque, Samiccus-esque. We've done these before, not mounts off, but transmog contest. Getting into basically who's got the best mounts, who's got all the mounts, who's collected the most. They were showing these off, really, really cool. Somebody on stage mounting, then everyone else mounting on the same mounts. Really, really cool stuff. An ice rink in the corner, yes, you can skate around, and the ability to become your pets. So they showed this off briefly, but yes, you'll be able to become your own pets. The little ones that you have in your bag, run around as your pet and do all kinds of fun stuff, which is pretty cool. A costume play, yes, you can be Chadgar. You can be all the, bosses, run around as Illidan, they were saying, and telling people they are not prepared. So that's pretty cool. Beyond that, there's a guest relations booth where you can visit and basically do a sequel to the Secrets of Azeroth questline. So if you ever did that one, it was really cool. Some interesting stuff was revealed through the Secrets of Azeroth questline. Well, there's going to be some riddles to be solved through this guest relations path. Very cool. So in doing all of this stuff, what are some of the items you can get? Because as WoW players, we're all loot whores, right? We all want to get in and get the loot. That's what matters to us most. Well, Blizzard revealed a ton of rewards, including a really cool mount. So they are redoing some old mounts and giving us a completely new one known as the Blue Armored Phoenix. Yes, this thing is really cool. It looks like, I guess, a combination of the old, one of the old Phoenix mounts plus some armor inspired by the shield and sword that Blizzard employees get when they've been at Blizzard for a long time. So this is a cool mount. It's going to be bought, I believe, through the currency from the event. Yes, there will be, Blizzard doesn't do events without doing more currencies, of course. So we're going to have a currency related to this anniversary event, and you'll be able to get this mount through it. As I said before, they also showed off the revamps of the Hippogriff here. Of course, the Amani Battle Bear. You'll be able to get something that looks, it's called the Amani Hunting Bear. It's going to be a revamped version of the War Bear. So these are going to have slightly different names because they are revamped versions of it. They don't want to delete the old ones from the game. But you'll be able to get these cool new ones. There's also a really cool flying carpet that they showed. I believe it's called the Enchanted Spell Weaving Carpet. They just showed it briefly throughout the video, but it's a really cool looking flying carpet, purple, ribbons coming off the back and stuff, so pretty nice. For pets and toys, there's going to be a ton of demon related toys and stuff. A Corehound chain, Lil Nefarian, Molten Corgi, Onyxia Whelplings, Hate Spark the Tiny, the baby Blizzard Bear. Now, if you'll notice, some of these are related to previous WoW anniversaries. So this is something that I didn't really see in the video, but if you missed out on previous anniversary pets, this will be your chance to get them. You can get the 4th anniversary, 5th anniversary, 10th anniversary, and 15th anniversary pets, all from this event. So if you didn't log in at that time, you weren't active at that time, maybe you weren't even playing WoW yet when the 4th anniversary came around, you'll be able to go back and get all of these cool pets that you may have missed out on from the past, which is a really cool thing and something that I didn't think they mentioned in the video itself. There's also this baby Doomlord that they talked about briefly, where they were very excited to introduce this new baby Doomlord pet with this baby Doomlord sword. So pretty cool stuff from there. Cosmetics and transmog galore. This is going to be a transmogger's wet dream for sure. This stuff is actually not coming directly from the event, but from the trading post. So these are related to the original Warcraft races, not World of Warcraft, but the original Warcraft game. We're going to get an orc-related backpack, which is a shield on the back, a human one, a night elf one, and an undead one. These are really cool. The details on them are nice. Obviously, the human one, I will be getting that. The old Lordaeron symbol is always one of my favorite things. And then, yeah, of course, the night elf one and the undead one, very scourgy. Indeed, I love that. It literally looks like they're carrying a shard of Frostmourne on their back. Pretty cool. This is the armor set that I was mentioning that it's next patch. Yeah, that's next patch for all this stuff. So the armor set that you can get, this is really cool. So this is related to the Warcraft employee tenure. So I guess at like 10 years and 20 years, 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years, if you're at the company still, you can get these different armor pieces in real life. Well, they're going to be in the game now. So you'll be able to get these as a transmog, I believe, through the WoW currency that they're talking about, the WoW anniversary currency. And this will be something that you can get as a transmog. Now, transmog is going to be big here because the tier sets are coming back. Yeah, this event is nice. Like I said, to call it an event is really an understatement. This is coming in the next patch, and it's going to be like an 8-week-long thing. So there's going to be plenty of time to do this stuff, and we're going to be doing a lot of it. The tier sets look great. So this is tier 2 sets. So one thing I mentioned yesterday when I was talking about, they're going to redo the tier sets with that tweet. Well, what does it mean for the guys who weren't around? Well, they addressed that, and we'll talk about it here in a second. But here we go. Death Knight. That's right, Death Knight. So what they're doing with these classes that weren't available in the game at the time that Tier 2 was out was they said they are using NPC models that were around at that time, but inspired by the classes that hadn't existed yet, and they're redoing those model sets. So for the Lich King, I think this is Lich King inspired. I'm not sure which Death Knight-esque model they got this from, but this is the Death Knight one. Yeah, very nice. Zaxxus, thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you so much for that. And yes, Espar, welcome in, Death Knight of our Scourge, as we speak about the Death Knight set. Very nice set. I'm excited to get the Death Knight one personally. It looks pretty cool. The Hunter set remodel, obviously. There's these are classic here. We got the priest on this, or this is the mage on the side with the floating orbs, of course. We got the warrior set here. I think this is on a Cold-Tier and woman. It probably would have looked better on something else. But yeah, the warrior set's a classic silhouette with the axes on the shoulders and helm. It looks really cool with the damage too to the armor. I love the way this looks. We got the druid set, very classic, very Malfurion-esque. And then we got the priest set here. Looks great. You could tell they added layers to them now. They fit much more into the modern game. Very, very nice stuff. And then, oh my god, is the monk set the winner? The monk set looks absolutely insane. Holy crap. So there's the monk set on that panda boy right there. Very, very nice. We got the shaman set right here. Of course, classic with the, you know, the wolves on the shoulders. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. And then the Dracthyr set is right here. They said this is inspired by the old Neltharion models, right, where he was wearing this armor. So very cool for the Dracthyr. They get a nice Neltharion-inspired set. That's pretty cool for them. And then the Warlock set, I mean, this is about as classic gets. The Warlock set is one of the classics, of course. So you can go ahead and get this one. Looks really nice with the bony boy on the head. And then we see here, this is the Demon Hunter one. So the Demon Hunter one actually looks really cool too. Inspired, I guess, there was a Night Elf Demon Hunter in the game at the time. Obviously not identified as a Demon Hunter, but he wore an armor that somewhat looked like this. So this is pretty cool. And then the Rogue set, the classic, you know, red hood and everything that we know from Tier 2 coming back. You get to be the ninja boy you've always wanted to be with those shoes as well. So really cool sets. Obviously, the star of the show, one of the classic, you know, sets, probably one of the best sets ever made in an MMO. You got to give him credit. I don't play Paladin, but the Judgment set is what it is. It truly is an identifier of class sets. And yes, you are getting a remake of the Judgment set. It looks absolutely glorious with all the new 3D assets on it. And I'm happy for the Paladins, that's for sure. Yeah, iconic indeed. As I said before, we got the different classes here that didn't have sets before. Well, now they're getting sets. Like I said, the Dracthyr set. Unfortunately, still, when you go in your Dracthyr mode, yeah, you're going to just look like a lizard boy, so that doesn't help. But we're going to talk a little bit about what Dracthyr are getting. That's going to change. Of course, we see the Lich King-esque set here, the Demon Hunter set, and then the Monk set is unbelievable. I'm not going to lie. I don't play Monk, but damn, that's a nice-looking set. So, what else is coming? There are a few things that they briefly mentioned that we're going to get into as well. Zaxxus, thank you. The second gifted sub to Mizik. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. 2 gifted subs to start the stream. A few things here. We're going to talk about Shamans, Dracthyr, Earthen, and some buffs and nerfs to different things going on. But here it is. The Shaman will be getting a new Ascendance form. I didn't even know this was coming. Maybe Shaman were asking for this, but this is really cool. So based on whatever your spec, so you'll be able to go into this Ascendance form. For Restoration Shamans, you'll go into the Water form, which is right here. Oh, this is the Air form. Sorry, the Air form will be for Enhancement. Yeah, Enhancement will get this Air form. Then you'll have Elemental getting this Fire form. Pretty cool. I mean, it's just, you know what this looks like? Wasn't there some bosses in, oh my god, what was that? You go into the house for BFA. It was that mansion, that haunted mansion. It looks like a model from that, what was it called? Yeah, it's from a rat, yeah. And then the Water Ascendance form is right here. This will be for Restoration Shamans. Really cool stuff. I mean, happy for Shamans. I'm not going to lie. When they were doing the video and they teased, they said they were giving something to Shamans finally. I thought they were going to give you guys your tanking form because I keep saying Shamans should be able to tank. I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. You guys should be able to wrap yourselves in some Rocky Boy elements and go ahead and become tanks. But this will be, you know, I guess just fine for now. Your Ascendance form, congratulations on that. Pretty cool. Moving on to Dracthyr. So finally, you know when you're going to get your new Visage form fighting and all that stuff. It's coming with this patch. So there you go. The anniversary patch, you'll be getting all of your new content, including your new classes that you can play. What are those classes? Well, they are Hunter, Rogue, Priest, Mage, Warrior, or Warlock. Shaman will be getting a new Ascendance form, as we just talked about. The cool thing is that's not the only thing. Yes, when you're playing as another class, outside of, you know, the Evoker, because they did say Evoker will still transform into a Dracthyr because they are very draconic in the abilities they do. But if you're playing any of the other classes, you can elect to stay in your Visage form when you're fighting, which is pretty cool. That's nice. Or you can choose to do the toggle back and forth where you automatically switch to your visage form once you leave combat. So those are 2 options you'll have. In terms of things that have to do with Dracthyr racials, some of the things got nerfed a little bit. So this is coming. They didn't really talk about it in the thing, but the cooldown for your tail swipe has been increased from 1.5 minutes to 3. Wing buffet has been increased from 1.5 minutes to 3. And tail swipe and wing buffet no longer automatically shift you into Dracthyr. Yep, okay, there you go, if you want to stay in the regular form. So that's interesting, a few nerfs there. Same with the class of the Evoker, that got nerfed a little bit. So Clobbering Sweep reduces tail swipe by 2 minutes, was 45. Oh, so that's a nice little buff, actually. A reduced cooldown here as well. And baseline Permitting Chill is now baseline for Evoker. So a few little buffs to Evoker, but the Dracthyr racials got nerfed, which was an interesting back thing. Another thing that they did get, though, is called Squadron. So they showed these Dracthyr flying around in a pair of 3, kind of like, the way I could describe it, I don't know, what's that game where you drop in? It's one of those, you know, BRs where you drop in as a pair of 3. That's what it looks like. So they were flying around, all doing the twirly boys at the same time and everything in a squadron. So I'm guessing when you join a squadron, you essentially kind of mount up on each other, and then one person leads the flight. Yeah, Apex Legends, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking of. So the drop-in of Apex Legends, I'm guessing the controls are very much the same, where one person is controlling the entire squadron. Yeah, it was really cool. The animations they were showing were pretty cool, and I can imagine squadrons of Dracthyr flying around. Sounds like a pretty cool visual to see. Now, while the Dracthyr got a bit of a nerf in terms of their racials, the Earthen got a bit of a buff. That's right, the Earthen are getting a buff. Now, they might not have to wait for the patch to come out to hit. Blizzard did say they're already working on this, but it turns out that their current eating of elements, which is something that they do called, they're basically their well-fed replacement, which is supposed to give them the stat bonus, the same as the food, is actually a bit less right now. So right now, if you eat War Within Food or you do the Earthen racial, if you do the Earthen racial, you actually have a DPS loss. So Blizzard is working on buffing this, so that way it at least gives the same secondary stat bonus as what Well-Fed produces, and I would expect it actually to give a little bit more. But anyways, in terms of that, Blizzard said they recognize that the Earthen Well-Fed secondary stat bonus is not providing the intended power level, and they are working to increase that effect. Secondarily, we're making Belgin's Gem edible to Earthen, improving their quality and greatly reducing their costs. So there you go. These things will be going live as soon as they can. They said you don't have to wait for the patch, but a nice little buff for Earthen racials now that Earthens are unlocked and a lot of people are starting to make them. That's all in terms of news. More to come later on, I'm sure, but this event, like I said, amazing. Blizzard really cooked on it, and man, I can't wait to get into it. I mean, this is the most excited I've been to play WoW in quite a while.